one of the smartest pitchers. He knew that every pitcher's career was like a graph. Start out 24, 25 in the big leagues, guys going up. 30, you're at your peak, 25 game winner. And then 31, 32. Start 32, you start going down. You're losing your fastball. You go down, and if you don't discover something new, you're out of the baseball by 35. So Spanny's attitude was, some guys wait until they lose their stuff and then say, oh, I have to come up with another pitch. And it takes them 2 years to come up with another pitch, at which point they're 8 and 15, 9 and 15, then they're 12 and 12, then they're 16 and 10 again, okay? He says, I don't want to wait and lose those 2 years. So while he was a fastball pitcher, he began experimenting with off-speed pitches. Like he picked up a change-up screwball, slider. Spanny used to be just basically overhand fastball, overhand curve. You know, classic left-handed Josh Beckett. While he was at the peak of his game, he was still working on other pitches. So Spanny never had that valley.
Yeah.
You look at his career, you never see the drop-off that you see in the 30s that you would see with most other pitchers. He just kept winning 25 games all the way through his 30s until he was 40.
He ended up with, what, 363 wins?
363 wins. Somebody once told me Steve Carlton was the greatest left-hander who ever lived. I said, excuse me, go check Warren Spahn's record.
Right. And, you know, of course, Spahn, like Ted Williams, lost 3 years to the war.
Sure.
That's why he didn't come up till he was 25.
Yeah, so Williams lost more than that. He was in 2 wars.
Well, I think he lost a total of 4 years over 2 wars.
Yeah, he was in the Korean War. He was in the Second World War.
Yeah, he lost about I don't know, maybe 180 home runs, something like that. But Spahn lost, well, he didn't come up till he was 25, whereas otherwise he would have come up when he was 22, something
Yeah,
like that.
so 22. So even if you won 10 games a year, I mean, 22, 23, 24, he would have won 30 games, so he would have been close to 400 victories.
Yeah.
You know?
What did Glavine do?
Glavine was, I talked to Tommy when he was, years ago. He was never, I asked him why he doesn't throw more curveballs and all that, and, well, you know. He said, I was always a nibbler. He said, I was never a power pitcher.
Yeah.
He said, so he, you know, I mean, he was all, what killed Glavine and Maddox was when they redefined the strike zone with the umpires a couple years ago. They were inside pitchers, you know, 6 inches off the plate, and the umpires used to call those. Now the umpires are calling more up and down, and they can't throw up and down.
Tell me something.
I mean, they can, but they'll get hurt.
I read a baseball book recently by Tom Verducci, who you must know because he writes for Sports Illustrated.
Another name.
Yeah. And he said that what happened in baseball is that guys like Glavine and Maddox, by nibbling at the corners, for a while caused the umpires to extend the lateral range of the plate.
Right.
At the same time, when you and I were kids, up here was a strike.
Right.
You had to come down here to be
I don't know what happened, but somewhere along the line, the strike zone shrunk. It became from the waist to above the knees. That was a strike. But it stretched. It became 6 inches outside, 6 inches inside. It became, well, not inside, because 6 inches inside, you hit the guy in the knee. It became an outside thing. And remember the game Livan Hernandez pitched in the World Series? Struck out 15 batters. And I think Greg was the umpire. Forrest Gregg? I'm not sure his last name. Those pitches were a foot outside. He was calling strikes.
This excerpt is brought to you by the Massachusetts School of Law, the leader of reform in legal education and a leader in multimedia education for the public. To view the full interview and for a full listing of MSL's programs, log on to mslaw.edu.